After arguably one of the most terrifying and horrific experiences of my life, I am glad to finally be wrapped in the arms of MatPat as he's here to protect me. The Backrooms is absolutely psychotic for absolutely no reason, and the psychopath whoever created that is an absolute demon. Imagine being lost in an empty IKEA with a bloodthirsty, homicidal demon chasing you around the store trying to take your cheeks, dude. Is that not horrifying? Luckily for you guys, you can finally learn how to survive the Backrooms. Just in case you so happen to fall through the ground into a vortex that transports you into another dimension that drops you into the empty room inhabited by the bloodthirsty demon. I don't really have to worry about that because, as you guys know, I'm cut from a different cloth, or as the kids say these days, I'm built diffy, so I ain't got nothing to worry about that. But if you would like my survival expertise, I would recommend bringing a strap. Film theory, how to survive the Backrooms. This could come in handy, okay? You never know when you're gonna end up in this situation. Think about it. Do you know how often statistics say 1 in everybody else people experiences the Backrooms, okay? That is a very high number. Very high.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory,
Hey,
a
Matt.
show that's coming to you live from the Backrooms.
I'm absolutely
Why?
not
'Cause
happy to be
I have no
here.
idea how to get out of here. Internet speed's good, though, and the moist carpet water is, it's not the best I've ever had, but, you know, it'll do. Wait, what was
Moist carpet water. I don't think I ever want to hear that phrase ever again in my life.
though, and the moist carpet water is, it's not the best I've ever had, but, you know, it'll do. Wait, what was that noise? For all of you who are uninitiated, the monotone misery that is the Backrooms began back in 2019 when this image was posted to a 4chan board dedicated to unsettling images. Just an ugly series of
Is that not terrifying?
Right, no big deal. Well, it came packaged with the following text. Quote, if you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas...
Like, just imagine your boss is hiding behind this corner, ready to schedule for overtime.
The following text. Quote, if you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old, moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby.
So, literally just hell, bro. You could just lock me in a room with the fluorescent lights and I'm going crazy.
Because it sure heard you. This post immediately got under people's skin.
The stink of old, moist carpet.
Endless series of mild annoyances
I
that
have to deal with the stink of my old, moist BO, dude. Carpet's...
make you feel squicky and uncomfortable. Slightly wet socks, a faint electric buzz, harsh lighting, ugly wallpaper. In short, it is mundane horror, an oppressive monotony that slowly wears you down, mentally and physically. That miserable setting inspired lots of online artists to write their own independent creepypastas, even creating a short video game where you explore the space. But here in 2022, the Backrooms has suddenly exploded in popularity thanks to a new series by VFX artist Kane Pixels, who's taken the basic concept and started to build a full-on series by VFX artist.
That man needs to be professionally evaluated by an experienced psychiatrist, because only the most sick in the head could come up with something so awful, such as that Backrooms video, okay?
Kane Pixels, who's taken the
If you ask
basic
me,
concept and started to build a full-on world around it. And you know what that means. Lore! Kane's first Backrooms short film takes place in, well, already we hit a bit of a snag. The slate says July 4th, 1990 something, but the description of the video actually has September 23rd, 1996. Anyway, this is probably just because it was the first video in the series. Dates become much clearer as the world gets more and more developed. Things start off instantly when a cameraman, fittingly enough named Kane, tries to set up a wide shot and immediately falls through the ground. Literally no clipping through reality, only to wind up in the dank and deserted world full of humming fluorescent lights, retro carpeting, yellow walls, endless corridors, and monsters that,
dude, the wallpaper enough,
remind me of walking tripods. Our cameraman wanders around trying to find an escape. Along the way, he finds some interesting landmarks hidden amongst the endless walls, but ultimately he's caught and presumably killed by the weird fungi monster. It's short, it's simple, it's effective.
It's a spaghetti monster.
Massive success of that first Backrooms video, Kane has been busy expanding the world with other shorts like The Third Test,
it looks like a
First
telephone
Contact,
pole,
and Missing Persons, as well as making the accompanying collateral.mov and March 11th, 1990 archive.tar, which are both hidden in the descriptions of the various videos. From all of them, we ultimately learned that the Backrooms...
This is what I get for not reading. I missed that!
Which are both hidden in the descriptions of the various videos. From all of them, we ultimately learned that the Backrooms was an experiment designed by a company named Async to solve space issues, providing near limitless room for both storage and housing in an ever-shrinking world. Where it all went wrong, though, remains to be seen. But what I want to focus on today isn't the where and the why, but rather the how. How to survive. In the
So science gave us demons, dude.
Video of the main series,
maybe we shouldn't trust science.
That since accessing the Backrooms in 1989, missing persons reports have been skyrocketing as more and more people fall out of reality.
Yeah, just
never to
plummet
return.
into
So
a vortex.
What do you do? How do you navigate a seemingly endless maze with limited resources long enough to potentially figure out this mysterious world? How do you avoid an unknown monster that roams the halls? What mistakes do we see Kane make in his exploration of the
Don't
Backrooms?
move!
And what could we do better? Pay attention, friends, because today I have the definitive list of 6 tactics that might just save your life the next time you no-clip out of reality into an ugly...
I hope every single one of you is taking notes, cause none of you are like me, so you know what I mean?
Yellow nightmare.
I hope you're...
In collateral.mov, we learned that in 1989, tests by the Async Foundation caused a massive earthquake that took place in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So, is the facility in the mountains? Are you at the top of a mountain and need to go down? Are you under the mountain and you need to go up? Are you in the upside down and you need to get upside downed? It's unclear at best. All we know is that in one moment we were filming with friends and in the next we're here. So once you land in the Backrooms, the first thing that you need to do is take the advice of the U.S. Forest Service, which suggests that when you get lost in the woods
smoking in public parks.
do not move at all unless you have a specific reason to take a step. Basically, you sit down, you don't panic, you assess the situation and the tools that you have at your disposal, and you stay...
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plummet through another dimension into the most terrifying location I've ever been in, and I'm gonna sit there and meditate, dude. And try my hardest not to injure my body, try not to shit myself. Yeah, bro. Logical, right? Let me do that. Let me just remain calm with a demon.
Where you are. You ended up at this location for a reason. Maybe this is...
because you were a very naughty boy. Very, very bad boy. It's like Saw. Right? Saw would get like criminals and like people cheating on their wives. Very, very naughty, despicable people. And tax evaders. Maybe this guy was a tax evader.
Is an entry point for other people, and someone else will no-clip in. Maybe people will wind up looking for you, and by moving, you throw off their tracking. In short, by panicking, running, and moving forward without a clear plan of attack, you are only succeeding in getting yourself more and more lost. Eventually, though, you will need to move, and this was Kane's first mistake. He had no plan. He just wandered aimlessly and headed towards whatever looked interesting. This meant that, when he started getting chased by the Backrooms' monster, he had no idea of his surroundings and wound up meeting a dead end. Figuratively. Or, I guess it would be literal. Anyway, proper grammar aside, we're in a repetitive maze, we're looking for an exit, and we need a way to track our movements. And for that, we need to use a...
I've already shat my pants, dude! Just give me a paintbrush and I've got marked the wall! Been here. Just draw a line on the wall, dude, my fucking rancid shit.
Maze solving algorithm, an automated strategic way for solving the maze with no prior knowledge of it. Our first strategy should be using the wall follower technique, also known as the right hand rule. This is one that I think a lot of people have heard of, but maybe don't understand the actual mechanics of. Basically, it's a tried and true maze escaping method that involves running your right hand along a wall while you navigate the maze. You see, mazes, in their simplest terms, are just shapes that you're trapped inside. So you, as the maze solver, need to find the outermost wall wall and the hole that's presumably in it. Many mazes are what's known as simply connected, i.e. all the walls are connected together to the maze's outer boundary. As such, if you were to unwind the maze, it basically amounts to one big circle with an entrance hole and an exit hole. So by keeping your hand locked to one wall and following it all the way through, you follow the outline of that circular path and you either find the exit, congratulations, you survived, or you wind up looping back to where you first started. Well, that's certainly not ideal. It is helpful because it tells us that the maze isn't simply constructed, but rather it's what's known as a disjoint maze, one where the walls aren't always connected to the outer boundary.
It's your fault.
In the video First Contact, we actually get confirmation that this is
You ever been in one of those mirror mazes? Right? It's like mirrors everywhere and it's a maze. How are those legal? How are those? I can't tell you how much bodily harm I've caused myself to like run into walls, dude. Like I'd be like, oh, there's the exit, and I'd take off, turn on the jets, and I just boom, smash right into a mirror, bro. It was awful, dude. There's children running around, dude. It was a nightmare.
We're dealing with the Backrooms. We see a map that confirms that the Backrooms is a disjoint maze. Notice that there are multiple chunks of wall here that don't seem to connect to the outside line. But just because we're in a more complicated maze doesn't mean that we're out of options. First and foremost, if Kane was able to bring his camera with him into the Backrooms, then his other belongings have no clipped with him as well. Specifically, things on his body like keys and clothes. And this immediately puts us at a huge advantage. If you have something like keys or a belt, you should immediately mark your starting location on the wall, and then run those keys or belts or whatever against the wall to leave indentations or markings. You can scuff the walls with your shoes. You can peel the wall.
You can piss on it.
You can pull a Hansel and Gretel and
rub
rip
your
pieces
shit
of your clothing off to use as breadcrumbs. You can write arrows and notes to yourself on the walls, which we know can be done since there are markings throughout the maze left by other people.
How did they write that? We didn't see a marker. They were thinking I know what see how it's dark? I know what they used. They was thinking just like me. Y'all think I'm crazy. Y'all think I'm a psycho with some of the stuff I say, but hey man, it's right there in front of your face, dude.
Results in us doubling back to where we began. We have a clear indication of which walls we followed and which ones we didn't. And if the walls do happen to be somehow supernatural and can't be marked by you, then the ceiling tiles are another option here. You see, the ceilings of the Backrooms appear to be a specific type known as a drop ceiling or suspended ceiling, which is common in office environments where lightweight foam panels hang a few inches below the main structural ceiling, hiding things like wires and support beams. By throwing a shoe to break or knock down tiles, you're able to mark your progress in all the areas that you've been.
Yeah, and then you get that one unlucky throw, and then you throw it up there, and then it just gets like stuck on the inside of the wall, and then you use the other shoe, and then it gets stuck, and then that's it. Now you're barefoot and lost, dude.
By bit, you eliminate the hallways that you've tracked and systematically work your way to the outer edges of the maze.
Now you just made it worse.
One other strategy to help with this in a disjoint maze setup like the Backrooms is the pledge algorithm. Here, you travel in a set direction. Let's say you walk forward until you hit an obstacle. From there, you put your right hand on the wall and you start walking around the obstacle.
This is hokey pokey.
Turning. Clockwise turns are positive, counterclockwise turns are negative. Once you start facing the original direction that you're meant to move again, and the sum of your turns is 0, you leave the obstacle and you continue moving in your original direction. This ultimately gets you off the disjoints faster, leading you to the outer wall of the maze and eventually to the exit. Right now, all you seasoned Backroomers are probably laughing at me and saying, silly.
I feel like at this point in my journey through this maze, I've already soiled myself to the point where I can't even bear the own scent of my own body. I'm sweating profusely. I have no more moisture left into my body. I've urinated all over myself. I am violently sobbing and wishing that I was dead, dude. So you really think that I'm gonna have the logical reasoning to do that? But of course not me, right? Not me.
There's an endless void of death and despair
I'm different.
That'll cause you to slowly
I'm not speaking
lose
for
your
you
mind.
guys,
To which
right?
I
I'm
say,
trying to...
joke's on you. I lost my mind years ago. I'm not gonna let a funky smelling series of yellow rooms defeat me. Plus, I'm not convinced that this thing is actually infinite or unpredictable. Like I said, in this new Kane Pixels series, we see a map of the place. We also see async employees able to walk through the Backrooms using a long red line, presumably as a way to lead them back to the entrance door. So all of that is just trying our best to find an an exit, but there's still one more important variable here that we have to consider. The monster that's looking to rip our body in half to use as human nunchucks.
The umbilical
And this is, again,
cord.
where a systematic approach to the maze will be our first line of defense. The last thing that we want is to wind up in a dead end, and the best thing that we can do to avoid that is to use the confusing layout to our advantage. Ideally, we're able to lead this monster to a disjoint, a section of the maze that we already know loops back around on itself. This gives us two simultaneous benefits. First and most importantly, we don't get lost while still allowing us to use the narrow hallways and looping structure to escape the sight lines of the monster. Instead of taking a straight path where the creature can easily track and follow us, you instead make tight turns in an effort to make yourself disappear behind a series of walls as quickly as possible. This sequence of repeated doors that Kane is chased through provides an excellent example. By dodging and weaving instead of taking a straight path, he should be able to make himself disappear fairly quickly. The other benefit of using a big disjoint to escape
that's not gonna be very helpful if your smell, the fumes, bro. It says you're just leaving a trail.
Though, is that we can then try
your wet footprints on the carpet
around behind the monster to follow it. Obviously, your first priority is going to be avoiding this thing until you have a better sense of what it is and what it can do, but by leading it to a chunk of maze that you know will allow you to double back around it, you'll be able to sneakily gather information much more quickly. And who knows, these things presumably know the layout of the maze, so by following them, they may be able to provide another resource for finding the way out. I suppose you could try to fight it or try to trap it with a rope or drag it into a null zone.
Dude, I'm fighting it and interrogating it like Batman. I'm hanging it from the ceiling upside down by its feet and beating it with my shoe, threatening to kill its family unless it gives me the information I want to. I'm doing the voice the whole time while I'm doing it. Listen to me, demon. Where's the exit?
Even know about, but
I'm telling
is
you,
confronting this thing actually going to help you survive? Probably not. Focus on escape and defense as your first priority. Once all that's settled, you've created a system that actually works, you've learned that the walls don't magically change every 30 minutes, start grabbing whatever you can find. In the Backrooms video, Kane blatantly ignores a lot of potentially useful supplies. For instance, that ladder right there that's used to get into the crawl space, grab it and carry it around. Even better, try to use it to get into the ceiling grid. Remember what I said about suspended ceilings? That it hangs below what the real...
And you can crawl through it! And the demon!
top of the room is? Well, often, walls only go as high as the dropped ceiling height. As such, once you're in the ceiling, you're not only hidden from the ground-based monsters, but you also have a wide open path to the outer edge of the maze unobstructed by any walls. Heck, you might even be able to find some electrical wires from the fluorescent lights that you can then follow, which again,
that you can use to tase it,
leading you out of the facility. Also, if you come across some rope in a dumpster, you don't walk past it. You check out what's inside the dumpster and you take the rope. You take what the world gives you because you might not ever come across it again.
Yeah, man, because you might not ever. Yeah, man, because you might not ever get out of there, bro. And then who knows? The rope might come in handy at that point. Yeah, it's
for self-defense.
Yeah, you might.
Something inside of the filing cabinet.
The rope is useful in more ways than one, definitely.
Everything can have multiple uses. For instance, when Kane's walking up the fire escape, his camera catches a glimpse of a hole in the ceiling that's created by an air duct. Air ducts, as you can probably guess, tend to lead to the outside of buildings. So again, having that ladder or rope might have helped him to investigate that. When he comes across a cavernous section of the Backrooms, those same items could have helped him get across the chasm to the other side. If he had a ladder, he could have dropped down into the apartment area that we see here, allowing him to more efficiently look for food and water. Sure, nothing might come of any of these options, but again, it's more likely to work than just wandering around aimlessly surrounded by repetitive yellow wallpaper. Last, but certainly not least, don't take any one-way exits unless you absolutely have to. While running away from the monster, Kane ends up sprinting deep into the catacombs.
Can you imagine? There's no concept of time in here. You don't know what day it is. You don't know what time it is. You don't know nothing, bro. You could go in there. Could be the middle of the summer, bro. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you finally escape, and it's the middle of winter. 5 years in the future. Half of your family is dead. There's a zombie uprising as a cause of nuclear warfare. And the whole world is different, bro. Now you gotta be like Will Smith. The world is relying on you to be a hero, and now your whole life has changed because you got trapped in a psychotic demon maze.
To find a hole that he jumps down into. It was the right decision in the moment because he was being chased, but had he just found the hole, this would have left him vulnerable, because it's a decision that he can't easily reverse. Again, document on the walls with your keys or whatever that the hole is this way, but only come back to it if nothing else seems to be working. Again, the last thing you want to do is to corner yourself. So there you have it, friends, how to survive the Backrooms in 6 easy steps. 1. Have a maze-solving strategy. 2. Mark your path using whatever's on
Don't
you.
have a
3.
bladder
Equip yourself with anything
or
and
bowels.
everything that you can find. 4. Ceilings, wires, and air ducts are gonna be your friend. 5. Never take a one-way path. Always have at least 2 ways out.
Dude, this could come in handy. I got a lot of enemies. Okay? Put a lot of bad people away. I've got a lot of enemies, okay? People got bounties on my head, okay? The Mafia might put a bag over my face, okay? I could end up in a van, and then that van transports me to a room. Now I could end up in a room. And then this would be helpful for me to get out of that room. And then as soon as I get out of the room, I fight 10 versus 1 on the Mafia, like I'm Spider-Man.
And 6, if you absolutely have to, use the disjointed, confusing...
And if it doesn't work and I end up dying, I'm just gonna sue Matt for false information.
...layout defensively when being attacked. Using all of those tactics, you have the best chance possible of escaping this nightmare scenario. And hey, look on the bright side. If you ever get thirsty, you have as much moist
Who's that one guy? He's the Detroit guy, and he's like a fake rent-a-cop, and he like teaches you self-defense. Like if somebody's got a gun in your face, you gotta like bob, wrap the arm around, twist them all, flip them over, dude, and then now you have the gun somehow between your kneecaps. That guy, dude, this is his time to shine. You're a survival expert, self-defense? This is your time to shine.
carpet water to drink as you could possibly want. But hey, it's February, and if there's anything scarier than the Backrooms, it's Valentine's Day. But
it's
fear not, my friends,
commitment,
because I've got the definitive strategy for surviving Valentine's Day in one easy step, getting a gift from our sponsor for today's episode, Established Titles.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Become a lord in Scotland. Use code MATPAD, dude. Listen, bro. Listen, basically what I got from this video is unless you're me, if you get transported to the Backrooms, you're fucked. You're fucked. There is no way somebody is gonna be able to ever successfully complete this, okay? First of all, nobody's remaining calm and assessing situations, dude. We're panicking. Nothing against MatPat, by the way. Just want to clear that up, because some of you psychopaths get mad at me whenever I don't agree with MatPat. MatPat is right. However, in a real-life situation, because at some point, one of you will end up in the back rooms, transported and being chased by a demon. It's gonna happen. This is real. It's not fake. Right? What he's saying is right, but in real life, when it happens, it's not logical, dude. I'm not thinking critically. I'm not analyzing things, bro. I'm flustered. I'm freaking out. The sight of the demon itself is gonna just make me completely lose whatever tiny will of live I have left, bro. This is awful. The Backrooms is demonic, psychotic, terrifying, horrifying, petrifying, and any other ifying words that you could possibly think of.